Hey YouTube, Mark here. It's my night for cooking and I am not going to make dinner tonight. In fact, I am going to do some baking today. Something I haven't done on the channel yet, and I found a really good recipe. It was recently Father's Day. We were in Clinton, we saw my dad, Jen's dad, and while we were visiting her parents, they had these nice muffins set out on the counter. And of course they offered us some and we had some, and man were they good. But there was a flavor in there and I just could not put my finger on it. And when I was talking with Bruce and stuff about the recipe, I found out that it was rhubarb. Yeah, rhubarb's in season this time of year. And they had a big patch of it behind their garage. So while we were there, I ran out and I grabbed about 5 or 6 stalks and brought it home with me because I'm going to make these apple rhubarb muffins. I've got everything laid out on the counter here and I'm going to show you exactly what you need and what we're going to do. Okay, so what we need for this recipe is 3 cups of flour. Now the original recipe actually called for 2 cups of flour and then a cup of wheat flour. I really don't think there would be that much of a difference, so I just went with 3 cups of regular all-purpose flour. I've got 2 teaspoons of baking powder, a half teaspoon of baking soda, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, and a half teaspoon of salt. Over here I've got 1 1/4 cups of applesauce, just a store-bought applesauce, nothing special, a half a cup of oil, 2 eggs, and 1 1/3 cups of brown sugar. And then I've also got 2 cups of 1/4 inch sliced rhubarb, and a little bit of a brown sugar cinnamon mix just as an added topping that we'll put on towards the end. To start, we're going to do a muffin method of mixing. So we're going to start with our 3 cups of flour. I'm actually going to reuse this later on the wet ingredients. Our baking powder, baking soda, cinnamon, and salt. And I'm just going to grab a fork. You can use a small whisk. I'm just going to stir it all together. That looks pretty good. Alright, now for the wet ingredients, I'm going to start with my eggs. Just give them a quick little stir. And my brown sugar. Mix those 2 together. Try to break up all the lumps and clumps of that brown sugar. That's kind of what you got. Going to add my applesauce. And now I'll add my oil as well. Now it might take a little mixing to get all that oil mixed in, but just take your time with it. It'll happen. Okay, so there we go. That's the applesauce, egg, brown sugar, and oil. Now the muffin style of mixing is to where you have your dry ingredients here, we put the wet on top, and then we'll use a mixer, spatula, spoon, whatever, to mix it all together. Alright, and that's all you need. You don't need to get it completely smooth. If there's a few chunks in there, that'd be fine. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add the rhubarb. And then we're just going to stir that in. Okay, just like that. Just turn it on just to clean off the beaters a little bit. Alright, now we need to get our muffin tins in order. So let's go get that ready. By the way, you did preheat the oven to 400 degrees, right? Okay, good. Alright, here's also another change I did from my father-in-law's recipe. His says to put paper liners in the cups. I'm going to try just greasing them up and see how that goes. Okay, to dish out, I've got this little scooper disher, whatever you want to call it. Should be about 2 tablespoons, but I'm not quite sure. So let's get these all portioned out. Okay, I got them all dished out. Sorry I didn't record that. It'd be boring just watching me scoop and scoop and scoop. I'm just going to take a little bit of this brown sugar cinnamon mix. And just sprinkle a little bit on each one. Now, in case you're wondering, my little mix here, it was 2 tablespoons of brown sugar and a or a half teaspoon of cinnamon. It looks like I can probably put it on a little heavier than I am. So go around. Any muffin that's got just too little, just add a little more to it. There, I think that looks pretty good. Okay, now we're just going to stick these into that 400 degree oven. And it should only take like maybe 15 minutes or so, 15-20, kind of depends on how big you made your muffins. Those look good. Now the thing is, I don't want to just, take one out and start eating it. One, they're really freaking hot right now. But 2, you gotta wait for those starches in the flour to kind of come back together and tighten up. Otherwise, they'll just kind of crumble apart on you. So give them 5-10 minutes. There you go, guys. Those are some awesome looking muffins right there. Nice and soft, warm. You can see the rhubarb pieces that are still in there. Oh yeah, that's good stuff. And as you saw, with the greasing of the muffin tins, they just came right out. I know there's a lot of brown sugar in this, but the tartness of the rhubarb really comes through still. So you get that really sweet, and then you get the rhubarb tart, and then The applesauce gives it a really nice soft texture. This is wonderful. Yeah. That would make a really good breakfast or even a late night snack. And of course, gotta enjoy it with that egg coffee you've been making, right? Right. I started salivating really hard right there. Well, this is Mark saying thanks again for watching. I'll see you on the road.